Yo, what up, guys? This is your boy Chuck the Cyber Cuck, and I will be hosting today's episode. We're gonna be talking about Tien Shinhan, the Triclops boss, and why he should not be underestimated in the coming tournament. Why I believe, and there's some evidence that will point towards him having some sort of new potential or some latent power within him that he'll bring out and prove to everyone why he's not fodder. So, before I begin, if you guys enjoy this type of content, if you guys like Seth the Programmer making analysis and debunks, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell button if you want to be notified of new uploads. So other than that, let's begin. Many people in the DBZ community seem to downplay my boy Tien, and the main reason is because they think Tien's fodder, that he's nothing, and that they'd rather have Goten or Trunks in the team, even though when it comes down to it, Trunks and Goten don't really do shit. They just play around and play with their toys. That's all they do. They're not really fighters per se. Every once in a while they train, but here's the thing. People seem to think that power is everything. When, Tien and Piccolo, they have strategy and they have more experience than them. And we saw Piccolo during the last Universal Tournament go in, he was able to keep up with Frost, who was, pretty much stronger than suppressed Goku, and he was able to break Vados' barrier. So people seem to really underestimate the other Z fighters that are not Saiyans. And I'll prove to you why that is not the case, why Tien is not fodder. Now the thing about Tien is that he was able to go in on the Cell arc. So, if you guys remember, when he uses a Kaiko Ho or the Neo Tri-Beam, he's actually able to hold down second form Cell. When, for example, Android 16, he punched him and it didn't do shit to second form Cell. He just he didn't even blink or anything. He just took it. During the Boo arc, he was actually able to survive a kick from Boo tanks, and he was actually able to blast him in half. Even though Tien hasn't had that much time to shine as the Saiyans, he's definitely had his moments. And now there's actually some really good reasons as to why Tien would definitely be making a great comeback during the survival arc, using an author interview from Akira Toriyama, and of course using evidence from how he's been training and how he's not been slacking off. Now the following piece of information I will be using from some sort of Shonen Jump or some Dragon Ball magazine feedback where Akira Toriyama answers a bunch of people's questions, so here's how it goes. What's up with the third eye on my main man Tenshinhan? Is Tenshinhan human? And Akira Toriyama replies with, in certain parts of Asia, beings with a third eye on their forehead are thought to be godlike and are said to possess the power of true seeing. It seems that Tenshinhan, who was raised by the evil Surusenin, or the Crane Hermit, lost the ability to use the myriad powers of his third eye for good purposes. Now, what does this mean? So, since Tien was basically corrupted, to be evil during the early Dragon Ball, by being influenced by the Crane Hermit, he wasn't able to unlock his full potential with the third eye, and he lost his ability of true seeing and be godlike. So now think about it. He's been training for many, many years after Dragon Ball, after, basically seceding from the Crane Hermit and becoming a good guy. Now, who's to say that he hasn't by now unlocked his third eye's full potential? Think about it this way. The Namekians are able to get stronger by syncing with other members of their species to become one being, or they can of course become whole like Kami and Piccolo did. And Saiyans can get stronger through Zenkais, right? Each race has one specific way to get stronger. Now who's to say that humans don't also have some sort of ability to get stronger? We do have to keep in mind though that Tien isn't exactly a regular human, because it's actually implied in the Daizenshu that he's a human with special powers, or that he has some sort of other origin behind him. We don't really know that much about him apart from that. And of course, we know that he's able to use other crazy abilities. For example, in early Dragon Ball, when he fights against Kid Goku, he literally grows 4 arms, alright? So Machoke evolved to Machamp, right there and there. And that's something that we've never seen Krillin do, for example, or Yamcha. And, Tien Shinhan's abilities are they're more based on strategy technique rather than power. For example, the Kaiko Ho, even though Tien himself isn't that strong, when he was, when he was in the Android Saga, he was actually able to, hold down someone who's many, many times stronger than even Frieza. And of course, Piccolo, with the special beam cannon and charging it up, with his many clones, he would have been able to actually knock out Frost. And he was actually able to destroy Vados' barrier, which is pretty impressive, even though Piccolo himself is not, on their actual level. But his techniques are definitely strong enough to cause damage to someone that strong. So now, many of you guys may be asking, how does Tien unlocking his third eye's full potential mean he's gonna get stronger? How is this exactly linked? Well, if before we answer this question, we need to look into what exactly is a third eye. Now, if you look in many Eastern cultures and religions such as Hinduism, the third eye is basically like a gateway to achieve a higher level of consciousness, a higher level of perception or awareness. Basically, you are becoming enlightened. So someone with a third eye will be able to perceive things that someone without a third eye wouldn't be able to perceive it, right? And now if we go through this mental enlightenment, then how does this exactly link to Tien getting stronger? If you guys do not know, Ki is made up of 3 components, which is spiritual, mental, and physical elements, or components, right? So if Tien basically becomes woke by unlocking his, true potential, his full potential of the third eye, and basically obtaining godlike status or, the power of truth seeking, and, essentially increasing his levels of mental energy or mental strength, then so would his physical and spiritual levels. And if all those 3 levels increase, then so would Tien's overall Ki output. So he'd be able to get much stronger through this. So guys, on a closing note, just don't underestimate Tien, alright? He's definitely going to have some sort of new potential or new powers to unfold in this tournament. He's going to prove to everyone why he's not fodder and why he's become a really strong fighter during the years. And I believe this may have something to do with his third eye, that he might have unlocked some more power through it. Now I'm not saying, he's gotten some superhuman god form, but he's definitely able to unlock some power within him to get stronger. And think about it, he was at the tournament, was he not? So he saw all those fighters. Do you guys really think he's going to come into the tournament without being prepared or having something like under his sleeve? Of course not. He's a strategist. He's gonna have something to use just in case. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this analysis. It was really fun for me to make. So as I said, subscribe to Set the Programmer if you guys want to see more content like this. We're gonna have some really nice videos out for you guys this month. By the way, if you guys enjoyed me hosting this episode and want to see more content from me, I'd really appreciate if you guys could subscribe to my channel. It'll be down in the description below. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. We love you all. Peace out.